Hi, I'm Faith Pinot from LA Times Studios. President Trump announced this morning that he's deploying 800 National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. in an effort to take back the Capitol. Jenny Jarvie reports that Trump said the city has been overtaken by violent gangs, criminals, wild youth, and homeless people. He's declared that it's, quote, Liberation Day in D.C. Trump is invoking Section 740 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, which allows him to place the Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. Attorney General Pam Bondi is now commanding the force. He also said his administration has begun removing homeless encampments and promised to restore D.C. to the, quote, gleaming capital it should be. But violent crime data tells a different story. Just weeks before Trump took office, the Justice Department reported violent crime in D.C. was at a 30-year low. Homicides are down 32%, robberies down 39%, and armed carjackings dipped 53%, all data compared to just last year. During the press conference, Trump also took a swipe at Los Angeles officials. He criticized Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom for their handling of this year's devastating wildfires, calling them, quote, incompetent. This move follows Trump's controversial deployment of thousands of troops to Los Angeles in June for immigration raids, which prompted a legal battle with California officials. A federal judge ruled the deployment illegal, but another court allowed the troops to remain while the case continues. Already, Trump's latest actions raise questions about the extent of federal authority in local law enforcement and the impact it could have on communities. Friday's deadly shooting outside the CDC's Atlanta headquarters is being linked to vaccine misinformation. Reporters say authorities identified the gunman as 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, who believed the COVID-19 vaccine made him depressed and suicidal. Police say White tried to get onto the CDC campus, but was stopped by security. Minutes later, he allegedly opened fire from a pharmacy across the street, striking 4 CDC buildings and killing a police officer. White died during the event, though it's still unclear if the gunshot wound that killed him was self-inflicted. A union representative, the CDC employees, called the attack targeted. They say it's the result of months of mistreatment and vilification of scientists. Now they're demanding federal leaders denounce vaccine misinformation and improve security before staff return to work. And in other news, a federal judge denied the release of the secret grand jury testimony behind Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking indictment. Reporters say Judge Paul Engelmeyer said releasing it, even if much of the information is already known from her 2021 trial, could compromise the foundation that grand juries rely on. Prosecutors pushed to unseal the documents to ease public suspicion about what the government knows and doesn't know about Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend, was convicted of helping him sex traffic and abuse underage girls. The Justice Department says the transcripts contain no testimony from witnesses who were not law enforcement. Maxwell, who is appealing her conviction, opposed the release. The next step is whether to unseal the grand jury records from Epstein's own indictment, and now that's being left to another judge. That's it for today. To read these stories and more, be sure to subscribe to the LA Times.